So the average American reads at a 7th to 8th grade level. USA! USA!
If ignorance is bliss, we as a nation should be ecstatic. They like to keep them dumb because they're easy to control.
And here are the states ranking the lowest in education because Republicans are proud to be stupid. It is no wonder we're still in a pandemic years later when the party of dead weight that consistently holds back the country, and here we are yet again, does not have the cognitive ability, doesn't have the reading level past a middle schooler to just understand how washing your hands have an impact to protect people, let alone vaccines and mask mandates. It's wild.
Hi, it's Alonzo with another Rebel HQ TYT video. Now, I want to explain to you how this works. See, they send me a choice of stories and they ask me what I want to comment on. Well, these were my choices today. The first story was somebody saying that in Washington, D.C., they're burning fetuses to create electricity. So that's the abortion thing. So I couldn't even comment on the ridiculousness of that. Then we had one in Alabama, and it showed the governor of Alabama saying that Joe Biden keeps sending immigrants to the states, and they're going to have to learn to Spanish. Not to speak Spanish. She said, the governor of Alabama said, we're going to have to learn to Spanish. I don't want to have to Spanish, so I let that one go. Finally, there's a story about the United States averages a 7th to 8th grade reading level, and I was like, that's it. That's the one I want to talk to. You know why? Because that is the root problem, why people believe that they're burning fetuses for electricity, why the governor of Alabama thinks we need to Spanish, because reading is fundamental, and we are fundamentally not getting it.
This is a graph showing U.S. literacy rates of adults in 2013, and unfortunately, these percentages have only been going down since then. This 14% bar here represents basic literacy, which is about 3rd grade level. This 34% number represents the amount of adult Americans who can read at or above a 7th grade level. Already right there, you have 50% of Americans that can't read above an 8th grade level. Not to mention, this means that 50% of Americans couldn't read well enough to distinguish a phone number from a website with several links.
Now, the commenter in this video talks about the red states and Republicans, and he makes good points. At the bottom of the list in reading level and education in the United States is all red states, and that the Republicans are quite happy keeping the Republican people, the Republican leadership, I should say, is quite happy keeping the Republican rank and file, the Republican people ignorant, because ignorance is easy to control. But they are not alone in this. The Democrats are also complicit in this. Why? Because they haven't done anything to improve education. They haven't put back the money in public schools that DeVos took out and all the problems that she created. They haven't come up with any sort of national reading program. They haven't fought these book bans. And the Democrats, again, I've said this before, I'll say it over and over, on the local level, Republicans control school boards and what's taught, and more importantly, what's not taught. And the National Democratic Party does not put money into these local school board elections to get their voices heard on the school board. That being said, the Republicans love ignorance. As a matter of fact, if ignorance is bliss, we as a nation should be ecstatic. They like to keep them dumb because they're easy to control. What they pump that America first nonsense. Well, guess what? We are not first. I don't even know if we're in the top 10, but I know we're not first. We could do better. We could learn, but there's no need to do that because they keep telling you America's #1. What did Sarah Palin say? America's the greatest country in the world. Have you been to any other countries? No, I don't need to.
36 million adults in the U.S. lack the basic literacy skills that they need.
Sharon Bonney heads the Coalition on Adult Basic Education, a national nonprofit.
These are folks at the lowest literacy levels. They can't find a job, or if they find a job, it's at entry level, minimum wage job.
So the brilliance of the Republican Party leadership is they've made education a bad thing. Do you think it's an accident that so many Republicans relate to Marjorie Taylor Greene? What did they say about George W. Bush? I'd like to have a beer with him. They didn't want to have a beer with Barack Obama because he might want to sit down and read a book while you're drinking that beer. Can't have that. Donald Trump, another one. Nimrod, but brilliant at manipulating the media and manipulating the feelings and, more importantly, the fears of these people. What better way to keep people scared than to stop them from reading? You've read 1984. You have read 1984, right? I mean, this is that was the blueprint. This is what they're doing, taking away making the intellectuals bad, taking away the books, taking away the thoughts. If they want to take away the words, if you don't have a word for it, you can't think it. It is such manipulation. It is such fear-based. Fox News, they're part of it too. Keep them scared of what? Other. What is other? Anything that's different than you. You don't want to read books where you might find out that, your black neighbor is normal, that a gay couple are just two human people having an experience and their love is just as justified as yours, that maybe there's anguish when a woman chooses to have an abortion. It's not something she's skipping down to the park to do, to abort the baby so that they can create electricity for Washington, D.C. Yeah, people actually believe that. Books, books, books. Books are the enemy. Intelligence is the enemy. Intellectuals are the enemy. And the really comical part, all of the Republican leadership that tells you not to learn, they've learned. That's right. They went to school. Where? In the Ivy League. Ban books, discredit science, demonize the word intellectual, defund the public schools. If some other country did this to us in an effort to make us dumber, we would be ready to go to war, because we are good with guns. Let's face it, we're good with guns. We are doing this. This is going on, and the Republican Party definitely a part of it, but the Democratic Party not fighting back hard enough, particularly not putting money into schools and education. Mr. Joe Biden, stop apologizing for forgiving student loans and just forgive the student loans. Let's get these kids into college. Let's become a smarter nation. That is a good thing, okay? As a man said in the video, we're fighting against science all through the pandemic, fighting against the vaccine, fighting against masks, fighting against washing your hands. Your mother told you to wash your hands when you were a kid. Suddenly, when Fauci tells you to wash your hands to prevent spreading a virus, you're like, I ain't gonna wash my hands. I'm American. Yeah, let's American. Read a book. Read a book. There was a video about it. I'm just Google video, read a book. Okay, I got to keep this clean so I can't quote the video. Listen, we have met the enemy and he is us. We can do better. We can learn. I'm telling you, we can learn. We went from Facebook news. That was too much reading. Then we went to Twitter. 140 characters, can't do that. So we got Instagram. Hey, it's a picture with a caption. I got to read the caption. Can you just TikTok it to me? Can you just give me a quick video? Yeah, I just did. And I'm ending my video telling you, stop watching these videos. Go read a book.